microcytic and macrocytic. Okay, microcytic is Abūrva Sahodarargal, you see MCV of less than 80. Okay, so it's seen in iron deficiency anemia, thalassemia, anemia of chronic disease, and hemoglobinopathies. Our man in Mumbai Express is normal, perfect, aplastic anemia, only thing is slightly deaf. And our Galibullah Khan is macrocytic, MCV is more than 100. Okay, so the B12, folate deficiency, liver and thyroid. Please remember thyroid. Hypothyroidism produces megaloblastic anemia. You can investigate for all the other things. Okay, especially in adults. I don't know about pediatric population. Many of my patients, many of my relatives, they are suffering from megaloblastic anemia. They take B12, folate, nothing will change. Check the thyroid. Please remember thyroid for megaloblastic anemia. What do you think here? So the defect is in the RBCs, the central pallor is very much, and platelets are increased in number. Any anemia with increased platelets, think of iron deficiency anemia. Okay, thrombocytosis will be there in iron deficiency anemia. What do you think here? Where is the defect? RBC, WBC, or platelets? We are in the topic of RBC, so it should be in the RBC, isn't it? In the exam, people will try to give some clues, catch it correctly. Okay, especially the internal examiners. Okay. So that will help you to act smart. And do you all know that joke? How many of you go to Facebook? Nobody is rising, and I think all of you are going. That's why nobody is rising. Okay. So 1 year before exam, we read foreign authors. 1 month before exam, we read Indian authors. On the day of exam, we become authors. Okay. So and you have to act very smart during the exam. Okay. So the defect here is in RBCs. It's a macrocytic anemia. You can see large RBCs, and these are ovulocytes seen in megakaryocytic anemia. And there are 10 things you have to see in shape abnormalities. We will go through them. One is target cells. Okay, target cells you see in liver disease, hemoglobinopathies, thalassemia, iron deficiency, post-splenectomy, and lipid disorders. You just remember liver disease and hemoglobinopathies. What do you think here? This condition you see it in artifacts and uremia. Burr cells. Okay, the difference between Burr cells and acanthocytes will have uniform distribution of these protrusions, whereas the Burr cells will have ununiform. And these are very typical acanthocytes. Please remember A beta lipoproteinemia, liver disease. Okay. What do you think here? The central pallor is gone, isn't it? You are not seeing it. So this is spirocytes, and you have to think in hereditary spirocytosis and autoimmune hemolytic anemias. What do you see here? Helmet cells, isn't it? So this is seen in DIC or any microangiopathic hemolytic anemia. Okay, you have to remember 3 things, isn't it? TTP. TTP, is it common, sir, in pediatrics? Here also. And do you know why these cells are these cut off? You all remember potato chips? Now machines are there. Previously we used to do that. I don't know how many of you scratched your middle finger. That skin also will go when you are doing it. But now the machines are there. You helped your mother? He is nodding his head. A fiancé. He is helping his fiancé. So, okay. Nobody helps the mother. They don't know. Mother means even Sunday we never give holidays, isn't it? It's a holiday for you. Mom, I want a hot cup of coffee. They are working 7 days, isn't it? So please consider it about this. And these fibrin threads are formed in all microangiopathic hemolytic anemia. So RBCs are passing through them, so they are chopped off. Okay, that's why you are getting a snowstorm appearance or all these helmet cells and RBC fragments. What do you think here? Ovulocytes. Okay, so elliptocytes, hereditary elliptocytosis. And here, can you all have sickle? Okay, sickle cell anemia. Here, teardrops. When you get your results that you are getting pass, you will get tears. So that's teardrop. You are getting in myelofibrosis and uremia. What do you think here? Somebody is having a bite. Okay, so this is seen in G6PD deficiency and drug-induced hemolytic anemia, bite cells. Okay, this happens in the spleen. Okay, Heinz bodies will be there in supravital. Heinz bodies we will see it in again inclusions. All spleen what will have, it will remove all Heinz bodies. That's why you see bite cells in the smear. Here, laughing Buddha, laughing RBCs, okay, stomatocytosis, where you see mouth-like inclusions in the smear. You see it in hereditary stomatocytosis and immune hemolytic anemias. So those are all the shape changes in RBCs. Now we are going to central polarity, disorders of globin synthesis, heme synthesis, and iron metabolism. Thalassemia and iron deficiency anemia will most similar in appearance. Okay, again it will be hypochromic, anisopyclocytosis will be there, platelets can be increased in number. So this is a iron deficiency anemia. The same picture you can see in thalassemia. So what is this? Whenever you see two types of cells in your exam, always think of treated anemia. Okay, the patient is having iron deficiency, status post transfusion, these are all transfused RBCs. Okay, so they will look normal. Blood loss, you see this picture in blood loss, autoimmune hemolytic anemia, non-immune. Here RBCs are large in size, supravital strain, they show reticulum-like pattern. So these are, I'm giving you a clue, there's a reticulum there, reticulocytes. Okay, so when there is a peripheral destruction, the RBCs will be produced more, and even immature RBCs will try to come up to the peripheral smear, and they will be very large in size. And if you do supravital strain, you will see the reticulum. What do you see here? You see it in severe hemolysis, profound stress, myelopathic conditions, and leukoerythroblastic anemia, where if anything is occupying the bone marrow, it will push the immature cells out, and this is a nucleated RBC. Okay, in our country, tuberculosis, granulomas will sit in the bone marrow, so they will push all the cells out of the bone marrow. Okay, you have to think about it in tuberculosis and hereditary conditions like storage disorders. Okay, in Gaucher's disease, Gaucher cells will be sitting in the bone marrow, sending the bone marrow cells out. RBC inclusions, we have 7 of them. First one is Heinz bodies, we have Howell-Jolly bodies, we already saw that. These are nothing but chromosomal remnants. Okay, when the spleen is not doing the function, spleen is the major sequestrating organ. Okay, that's why in hypersplenia you get anemia, thrombocytopenia, and leukopenia. Okay, so spleen covers removes all the normal, spleen removes all the damaged cells. Hypersplenism removes even normal cells. Okay, that's why you get pancytopenia. And what happens when there is splenectomy patients, a non-functioning spleen or overwhelmed spleen, these Heinz bodies or Howell-Jolly bodies won't be removed, and they will be present. And the other thing is cannonball appearance. Okay, these are Pappenheimer bodies, and you see them in blockage of iron to hemoglobin, any heavy metal poisoning or sideroblastic anemia. They will be like cannonballs clustered together. Okay, and the other thing here, it's like a stripling, and it is blue in color, basophilic stripling. You mainly see it in lead poisoning, very important. Okay, beta thalassemia and any severe anemia, you may see basophilic stripling, and these are aggregates of polyribosomes and mitochondrial fragments. What do you see here in addition to this one, basophilic stripling? Can you see a nice rim? This is usually misdiagnosed as malaria. Okay, it will look like malaria, but these are Cabot's ring. And if you see, sometimes they will form figure of 8. These are remnants of the mitotic spindle. You see it in pernicious anemia and in lead poisoning. This, we always follow Western terminologies, isn't it? Washington Monument. Why can't we call Qutub Minar? Doesn't look like Qutub Minar? Both of them look alike. Okay, and when you start writing books, I hope you all will write books. Okay, leave about all the Western countries. Sir showed one thing. What is that? Kummi adikirathu enna English la enak therilla. Edo pat. Enna pat? Fat taping. யாருக்கு புரியும்? கும்மி அடிக்கிறதுனா எவ்வளோ ஈஸி, கூட்டத்தோடு சேர்ந்து கும்மி அடிச்சுட்டு போயிட்டே இருக்கலாம் நம்மளும். ஓகே, ஸோ அந்த ஜீரக மிட்டாய் எவ்வளோ அழகான வார்த்தை, அதை விட்டுட்டு இங்கிலீஷில் ஏதோ சொல்கிறாங்க, அது நமக்கு தெரியாது. பேஷண்ட்டை போய் நீங்கள் கேட்க முடியுமா? அந்த பப்பர்மெண்ட் அரிசி மிட்டாய் கொடுப்பீங்களாம்னா கொடுப்போமே சார், அதுவே பிக் பண்ணிக்கும். Okay, so when you are writing books, please use Indian terminologies. Oncovisas, how many of you seen oncovisas? What is it? It's an amoebiasis. Okay, give it a kori gurma. Okay, this is hemoglobin crystals. Hereafter we will call Qutub Minar, not Washington Monument. Okay, and these are all hemoglobin C crystals, hexagonal shaped, and I put it just to show it is in the textbooks, because some of the professors may ask you, and this is mainly for medal exams. Okay, So they will, what is the name? Until you say Washington Monument, they will keep on asking you, okay? So these are crystallized abnormal hemoglobins, hemoglobin C and hemoglobin sickle. And this is mainly for your theory exam. What are all the inclusions? What is the nature? Okay, why the inclusions are there and where it is seen? Okay, I will go through them quickly. Oval-Jolly bodies, chromatin remnants, seen in splenectomy, sickle cell anemia, and severe anemia. Pappenheimer bodies, these are mitochondrial, non-heme ions, chemical heavy metal poisoning, and cerebrospastic anemia. Basophilic stripling, polyribosomes and mitochondrial fragments, lead poisoning, beta-thal. Cabot rings, remnants or mitotic springers, severe anemia, lead poisoning. Haynes bodies, denatured precipitated hemoglobin, G6PD deficiency, and drug-induced hemolytic anemias. Hemoglobin crystals you see in hemoglobin C, S, and SC. What are these? See the banana there? In the RBCs, toxo won't go into RBCs. That's a good thing. Toxo, that's what I heard, isn't it? So these are malaria, okay, malarial parasites. If you see banana, it is falciparum. If you see jackfruit, it is non-falciparum, okay. So see the jackfruit, cut section, okay, and RBCs will be large in size. It won't be stretched, whereas in falciparum, RBC will be of normal size, but it is more like a banana. Okay, this is vivax, and it's very difficult to differentiate vivax from oval and malaria. It's not necessary also. Okay, so falciparum or non-falciparum, because the treatment is different, isn't it? Yes or no? Very good. So this is the difference. Just remember jackfruit for non-falciparum and banana for falciparum. This is just a clue for you. Okay, don't tell the examiner how will the falciparum look. Banana, sir. Okay, no, not allowed. Elongated. Okay, so this is what. Very good. Microfilaria. And when they don't give you slides, isn't it? They will just put you pictures and see it, isn't it? So you don't have to worry where to screen. Because of the weight, they all go to the periphery. Okay? When you are in practice, patients will come with fever, and if you are not specifically treating, they won't get rid of the fever. Okay? If you are in a place where you have to screen the peripheral smear, for microfilaria, look at the edges first. Okay? Now we are done with RBCs. Any questions? No? Is it crystal clear or time out? Okay. So normal WBCs, you know, we have 5 of them: neutrophils, lymphocytes, monocytes, eosinophils, and basophils. This is a basophil where you have large blue granules hiding the nucleus. These are neutrophils where it is multilobulated, granules are there but no specific color. Eosinophils, they have specific eosinophilic color. Okay. These are monocytes, this is lymphocyte, this is neutrophil. Okay. Do you know how they got these names? Why 3 of them are phils and 2 of them are cytes? Phil means love, affection. Okay. There are 3 cells which are having granules. And neutrophils, they are neutral. Okay. So they don't attract either the eosinophilic dye or basophilic dye. Okay. That's why they are neutrophil. Eosinophil take up the eosinophilic dye. Eosinophil, basophil. Okay. And the non-A granulocytes, they are lymphocytes and monocytes. Okay. What do you think here? Increase in number. Okay. So this is leukocytosis, and you have to think of CML also. And whenever there is a leukocytosis, you have to think of leukemioid reaction and CML. The main thing is lab score. Leukocyte alkaline phosphatase is very high in reactive, whereas it is 0 in neoplastic. And don't use the logic. Whenever we use logic, we think leukemia, everything is increased, isn't it? Logic வந்து இங்கே மட்டும் கொஞ்சம் உதைக்கும். Okay, lab score. Reactive it is high. Neoplasia it is low. What do you think here? Eosinophils, isn't it? So eosinophils are increased. You have to think of first allergy in our country, tropical eosinophilia. We are in tropical countries, isn't it? Tropical eosinophilia, parasitic infestations. Okay. Then you have to think of other diseases, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, T-cell lymphoma. Okay, that's a clue. If you see a lot of eosinophils and you ruled out tropical eosinophilia, thinking of lymphoma, first think T-cell lymphoma and Hodgkin's disease. They are very common with eosinophilia. This is reactive, and you see this in reactive conditions and in CML. What is this cell? What do you think? RBC or WBC? Okay, I want to forceps delivery the answer from your mouth. Okay, so is it granulocyte or A granulocyte? Very good. Is it what color? Pink or blue? Pink or blue? basophilic type. Okay, this is the example of saying don't concentrate on the color in at least in hematology. Okay, so it all depends upon pH, staining and all. The nuclei are sitting, the granules are sitting over the nuclei. Basophil is the only cell where the granules will be hiding the nuclei. All the other, the nuclei, the neutrophils will be, the granules will be sitting in the cytoplasm. What is this? You see it in EBV, CMV, toxoplasmosis, adenovirus, HHV8, viral hepatitis. Abnormal lymphocyte, okay, and there is lymphocytosis. Whooping cough is the only bacterial disease that have lymphocytosis. All the bacterial diseases, they have neutrophilia, isn't it? Whooping cough is the only thing that has lymphocytosis. What do you see here? R rods, okay. So you see it in myeloblasts. What do you think here? These are all very abnormal cells, okay. If you diagnose acute leukemia, that is fine, lymphoblasts, okay. And sometimes lymphoblasts will have vacuoles in their cytoplasm. This is very characteristic of Burkitt's lymphoma. Please remember it. If you see blast with a lot of vacuoles in the cytoplasm, it is Burkitt's lymphoma, ALL-L3. What's happening here? And whenever there is a high count, especially in newborns, please remember transient abnormal myelopoiesis. Never give the diagnosis of leukemia in a 2-day-old baby. Just wait, okay? And do you know what is the disease most commonly associated with this? What syndrome? Very good. Down syndrome. See, I told you, all of you will clear the exam. Fail ஆகிறது ரொம்ப கஷ்டம். தனியாக ரூம் போட்டு ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணணும். அப்போ தான் ஃபெயில் ஆக முடியும். ஓகே, அவ்வளோ ஈஸியாக ஃபெயில் ஆகிட முடியாது. என்ன ஸ்காட் சார் ஒத்துக்கிறீங்களா சார்? ஸ்காட்டே பாஸ் பண்ணிட்டாரு உங்களுக்கெல்லாம். So Down syndrome, it is very common, okay. So you have to remember, please don't, because pathology definitely they will call you, it is looking like leukemia or lymphoma, okay. 2-day baby, abnormal cells, Down syndrome, wait for a week or 2 weeks, it will fade out, okay. Most of them will resolve spontaneously, and 20% may proceed to leukemia, and we don't know which 20% will go to leukemia. And what's happening here? Increased or decreased? Increased. And what are these cells? When you see lot of neutrophils and when you see lot of atypical cells, always think of CML. CML is the only leukemia where mature cells and immature cells will be there, okay. There is no window. Whereas in acute leukemias, you only see blasts with very few cells. There is a big window, big gap in between the normal cell and the abnormal cell. So this is CML. And what chromosome disorder? What is the chromosome abnormality in CML? Philadelphia, isn't it? BCR, ABL, because specific treatment is there, okay. And this is CLL. CLL will look like lymphocytosis. It's very difficult to differentiate reactive lymphocyte from chronic lymphocytic leukemia lymphocytes, okay. So this is CLL. History is very important. So these are all the numerical changes in the WBC. Even WBCs can have some granules in them, okay. So you see the granules here. So more than granules, a granule is there, but there are only eosinophil-like neutrophils, isn't it? Bilobed neutrophils with a thin strand covering. This is known as Pelger-Huett anomaly, okay. It can be inherited or acquired. When it is acquired, we call it pseudo-Pelger-Huett anomaly. It is mainly seen in adults in MDS. What's happening here? What are these cells? Neutrophils, isn't it? Hyposegmented. Then in the cytoplasm, what do you see? Neutrophils won't have this much of granules. They should not be seen. They are not loving any granules, any colors, okay. So when you have more blue granules or more prominent granules, it's toxic granulation, okay. And can you see the vacuolations here? Yes or no? Okay, so vacuolations. And what do you see here? Can you see some blue stuff there? Some blue stuff there. They are Dolly bodies, okay. So in any infection, this is the triad you see: toxic granulations, vacuolations, and Dolly bodies, okay. So these are all the triad in infection. What do you see here? Platelets are very large, giant platelets, and you see large inclusions, okay. This is May-Heglin anomaly, characterized by thrombocytopenia, enlarged platelets, and variable neutropenia. Inclusions can be seen in neutrophils, eosinophils, basophils, or monocytes, okay. So giant platelets, you look into WBCs. When you see the granules, it's May-Heglin anomaly. What's happening here? They resemble primary granules but more pink in color. They become prominent here like a basophil. They are sitting over the nuclei, but they are not basophil because the nucleus is lobulated. So this is a neutrophil with the pink granules or azurophilic granules, which is seen in Alder-Rayleigh anomaly. Okay, this is another disease where the granules are very prominent, and that is Shediac-Higachi syndrome. These things are very uncommon, so definitely they won't show you in the exams. Okay, this is just for theory exam, they may ask you. And Shediac-Higachi syndrome is associated with the albino. Okay, many granules containing cells, melanosomes, partial oculocutaneous albinism will be there. That's very important, and neurological abnormalities will be there. What do you think here? Hyperlobated. Okay, if you see 3% of neutrophils more than 5 lobules, it is hypersegmentation. Okay, and this you see in B12 folate deficiency, uremia, chemotherapy, hypothyroidism. Please remember hypothyroidism. In adults, MDS. So these are the inclusions. Toxic granules, they are primary granules seen in infection. Cytoplasmic vacuoles and Dolly bodies can be seen in infection. Dolly bodies can be seen in May-Heglin anomaly with thrombocytopenia. Shediac-Higachi syndrome, lysosomal granules associated with albino and shaft lifespan. Alder-Rayleigh anomalies, primary mucopolysaccharide storage, which can be seen as granules in the neutrophils. Finally, we are coming to platelet changes, platelet clumping, and giant platelets you have to know. This is a common picture they may show you in the exam. What's happening here? Aggregation, isn't it? Like a satellite, all the things are attached to the neutrophil. So that is known as platelet clumping and satellosis. This is an artifact that happens only in EDTA blood. Okay, and what happens, because they are all sticking to the neutrophils, the automated machine platelet count will be very low. So that's why whenever you see low platelets, ask the pathologist, is it reflected in the peripheral smear? Because in the peripheral smear you can see the clumping. Okay, so in any low platelet, don't give a EDTA sample, ask the technician to come and make a fresh sample. In fresh sample, the satellitosis won't happen. Bernard-Soulier syndrome associated with giant platelets. Okay, see they are at least half the size of RBCs. Okay, again the problem here, these giant platelets will be counted as RBCs or WBCs by automaton. Okay, so you have to ask the pathologist in low platelet count, are there giant platelets, are there satellosis? Those are all the two things. These are giant platelets. Now we are going something, are they facts or artifacts? They are mainly artifacts. Okay, where these are staining precipitates. They may look like platelets. Okay, but they will be sitting over the RBCs. Real platelets will be outside the RBCs. Okay, sometimes they may be mistaken for malarial parasites. So these are all precipitates, staining precipitates. Sometimes if you allow the slide to dry up, they will show vacuolations in the RBCs. Nothing to worry. You see some intranuclear or intracytoplasmic inclusions. Again, this is an artifact. You don't have to worry for malaria. So that's it. Are you all ready for post-test? Where do you see this? Very good. Second one, which disorder? RBC disorder. Very good. What is this? Eosinophilia. Where do you see? AML, ALL, B cell or T cell? T cell. Very good. It's for me. I am able to put it in your mind. What is this? Why this is happening? EDTA. Okay, please remember, especially in dengue season, because we diagnose the dengue serology will take 1 or 2 days time, the result to come. But whenever low platelets, we are very much worried. Yes or no? Isn't it? So whenever low platelets, give a call to pathology, ask them, is it due to EDTA or is it real thrombocytopenia? This intranuclear inclusion, banana or jackfruit? So the diagnosis is good. So the take-home message, systematic approach, all cell lines, clinical history is a must. Okay, so you have to correlate with the clinical history. Again, RBC, WBC, platelets, organisms. We have seen these RBC disorders, WBC disorders, platelets, and organisms. Okay, so the Google, all my images are from the Google. Okay, so whenever you want something for the exam, don't waste your time in searching. Just put it in Google. What is the thing? Okay, even if I want to talk to my wife, I will put, can I talk to my wife? Google will ask me, is it your first wife? I say yes. Okay, Thank you very much for your kind attention and all the very best to you. Thank you. Oh, yes.
Okay, thanks a lot for coming. You have given a contribution to our Cancer Relief Fund, and I appreciate that most of you, at least 98% of you, have given the palliative care and the cancer survey form. Thanks for coming. You have my email ID in case if you have any queries, like if you have not got any Xerox copies, please email to me. You will definitely get an answer within 24 hours, working days. Okay, thanks. And we want to appreciate Dr. Rajendran. He opted to take the last session. You know, normally Rajinikanth is asked to talk last. You know why? To keep the crowd. So I think he has maintained that. Thanks.